Cast your mind back to June 2021 when Finland was playing against Denmark at the 2020 European Championships. The overarching memory of that game is the collapse of Danish midfielder Christian Eriksen, an occurrence that cast a shadow on the sport. Such incidents, while rare, have happened in the course of the sport. Former Manchester City and Cameroon player Marc-Vivien Foé died of cardiac arrest after collapsing during the FIFA Confederations Cup in 2003. Former Newcastle midfielder TRT died in 2019 after he collapsed in training at his club Beijing BG in China. In 2012, one of the most famous cases of cardiac arrest in English football involved Fabrice Muamba. He survived a cardiac arrest during Bolton Wanderers game against Tottenham. His heart stopped beating for 78 minutes, after which he responded to treatment and came back to life. Not long after that, Muamba retired from the game at the age of 24. Recently, Luton Town's Tom Lockyer added to the number of players who've suffered a cardiac arrest on the field during his team's Premier League game against Bournemouth in December of 2023. Argentine forward Sergio Aguero retired at 33 after suffering from cardiac arrhythmia, a condition that leads to irregularities of the heartbeat. The latest of these cases happened in women's football. Arsenal's Frida Maanum collapsed without anyone near her during her team's Continental Cup victory over Chelsea. While cardiologists say that they haven't found any heart issues, Maanum is being monitored for further investigations but still reminds everyone of the dangers that lurk. Numerous theories are out there about the causes of footballers' collapse. We look into what medics say about these cases. Before we move on, I have one request to make. I'd like you to help me to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're halfway there, so please, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button, like and share my content so that I can reach as many people as possible and also help the channel grow. Thank you, and back to the video. A study by the Sports Institute at the University of Washington in Seattle has found that 1 or 2 in every 100,000 active sports persons experience sudden cardiac arrest each year. Men are at a greater risk than females, and African American athletes are at a greater risk than Caucasian athletes. This is also the leading cause of death among pro athletes, and these are the reasons stated. Even though these athletes are extremely fit, which leaves them with great heart function and physiology, they remain at great risk, and when the right trigger happens, they are prone to electrical dysfunction, causing arrhythmia that could lead to either arrest or even fatality. Most athletes have underlying heart abnormalities, and exercise is a great trigger. For example, one major cause of cardiac arrest in athletes is the thickening of the heart, a genetic condition known as hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. The nature of the sport also puts athletes at risk. Players and coaches have complained about the heavy football calendar that leaves players exhausted and with little time to rest, but it's all fallen on deaf ears. On the contrary, more and more games are being added, which means players have to push themselves harder, increasing the risk of such cases. So what about the theories that these sudden cardiac arrests are COVID-related? Experts have ruled out any relation. Professor Sanjay Sharma, a renowned UK-based sports cardiologist, said, "Everyone is jumping to the conclusion that it's COVID-related or even worse, that vaccine-related myocarditis may be responsible for this spate of cardiac issues we are seeing in football. I can tell you now that Eriksen's arrest had nothing to do with COVID or the vaccine, nor was Aguero's cardiac scare." Dr. Christian Schmid, a world-renowned physician and head of outpatient cardiology at the University Hospital of Zurich, Switzerland, said that the number of footballers collapsing hasn't increased. "I actually do not think so. Cases might seem to increase as there is more public awareness and more people performing sports at a higher level. Furthermore, based on scientific data and registries, we know much more about sudden cardiac deaths in sport than 10 to 12 years ago." The world governing body FIFA has a sudden death registry that has been operational since 2014, in which it collects deaths that have happened in football worldwide across different tiers from professional to amateurs. Between 2014 and 2018, that's pre-pandemic, 617 players suffered sudden death in 67 countries. Out of that, 142 of them survived. The vast majority of cases occurred at amateur level at a rate of 95% and only a small fraction at a professional level at a rate of 5%. The report further states that coronary artery disease is the leading cause of deaths in players above 35 years, and for those less than 35, the sudden deaths were unexplained. Sudden cardiac arrest in players less than 35 varied by region. For example, in South America, the cardiac arrest was likely caused by cardiomyopathy. In North America, it was a coronary artery anomaly, and in Europe, it was sudden unexplained death. When such cases happened, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, resulted in a survival rate of 85% with the use of an automated external defibrillator compared with 35% without. So those are the numbers from FIFA, and keep in mind that these don't include post-pandemic incidences and cover players from all levels. And as FIFA has pointed out, most cases happen at amateur level, and it's very, very easy for them to slip through. At the professional level, they put that at 5%, which seems to corroborate the views of the experts who say that it's not a cause of concern and the numbers are not increasing. It's just that they are receiving much more attention and a lot more media coverage because they are playing at the highest level of the game. So what are my closing thoughts on this? From what we know so far, professional players go through rigorous medical tests before signing for a club or joining any professional team, which should help trace a player's medical history. However, it seems not every case will be detected, especially when a player has been given a clean bill of health. Additionally, it's time for football officials to put players' welfare first. As a football fan, I love having a weekend full of games, but not at the expense of players' health. And I'm sure that many more fans would agree. If you want to watch more content like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.